Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel and the E36 M3 Touring project. You would have seen in the last video that we took out the engine and running gear from the Touring base shell, and now it's time for the car to go into its first step into becoming kind of an M3 Touring, and that is to weld in reinforcement panels. This is something that BMW did from factory to accommodate the extra power that the M3 made and probably the more aggressive way that it was going to be driven. So this is what we're going to add back into this car to kind of make it as close to a factory car as we can. So the first step is going to be to drop the rear subframe and the fuel tank, and also just take out the interior just in case. I don't want to start any fires. And then tomorrow we'll be joined by Gabe, the welder, who's going to come in and weld these panels in for me and also do some reinforcements to the subframes themselves. So I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get going. All right, first things first, let's undo this handbrake cable because I want to keep it rather than cutting it like on the M3. This is going to be awkward.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Whole tree going on.
Ugh. A bit of rust there, not great. That's just kind of surface rust really. I'm going to try and work that fuel hose off.
Yeah, probably trim tool underneath it, probably be the best bet.
Oh no.
No? Come off right?
Yeah. I should have expected that.
Are they the same tank?
Should be. I don't know, saloon might be different, but...
The fuel pump's different.
Yeah, I got to swap the fuel pump over. I didn't get the fuel pump out for kind of the same reason, that I got halfway and then it was like, oh, I don't know how to undo the line. Then it was covered in rubbish.
Are you going to take the fuel pump out?
Yeah. That one's going to be really solid now.
Yeah, typical.
Get the trim tool. There we go. Right.
A little bit of persuasion.
I don't know where the fill neck is. I assume we'll probably have to do that from underneath as we try and drop it. I mean, you don't have access to it now, so... So that is the rear subframe and fuel tank dropped. Me and Aston did go through and drop the subframe partially before and kind of spray up all the bolts, which I think helped. But overall there wasn't much. Found a broken spring, little odd little pieces. Fuel tank, pretty dirty, but nothing too untoward. Okay, let's have a look at the body because that's kind of the more important bit. Haven't looked under here before. What are we working with? So overall, pretty good. Above the subframe itself, doesn't look too bad. This is where we're going to be welding reinforcements to. That one's a little bit rusty, but nothing too much to worry about, I don't think. Same on that one. And also a reinforcement there. And then also doing these pockets, which are known to be a kind of rusty failure point. Again, surface rust, not anything I'm too worried about. I'd probably just give that a nice clean out and a coat over the top. Take a quick look on this side, same again, really nothing too much worrisome. And then above the fuel tank, yeah, nothing really to report, I guess. Little bits and pieces I'm going to clean up, little areas where it's clearly been rubbing, just to mark back, and then I've got some stuff to go over it. Little, like these brackets, obviously they're now going to get changed now that I know. These brake line holders I'm a bit confused about because they don't undo, they probably weld on. I guess this might be a spot weld or something. But I think they might clean up okay. I'll have a little look. Anyway, that is the bulk of what we were doing done. Now it's time just to remove the interior, just in case of any fire hazards really, but we'll get that done quickly. This is surprisingly heavy. There we go. I think that is that as far as I need to go, maybe. See what the welder says in the morning, but I think that's probably where we're going to stop. Okay, so I just spent the morning cleaning up the underside of the Touring, and now we've got Gabe from KLR here.
Hi guys.
Who's going to come and do all the welding for me. So do you want to talk us through what we're going to do today, Gabe?
So basically we're going to weld these plates
Yep.
where the main control arm sits, something like that.
Other way around. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that reinforces the rear trailing arm.
So,
And then we got these two from
one more here.
BMW. Oh no, I got the other side. Yeah. So these are the BMW ones, and they put them on the M3. And then we got a rear one as well.
We got the rear one here. Like that.
Yeah, so they're all going to go on. So what's the process then to get those on there?
So we're going to start by grinding down the sealant.
Yep.
All around, so we can have a clean surface to weld on, and after that we're gonna get cracking on welding.
Yeah, hopefully it goes pretty smoothly.
Hopefully.
No fires.
No fires. We got fire extinguisher if.
Yeah, I stripped the interior out, so we should be okay. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's kind of get on with it then.
Let's get on it.
Okay, so that's all the welding done, thanks to Gabe. How do you think it went?
Well, we had some difficult spots where some sealant was left and it was keep destroying our tungsten, but overall it was an easy job, and that's about it. Let's hope it'll hold.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it coming off, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, it looks really, really nice. So you used TIG this time?
Yeah, we have used TIG welding.
Yep.
It welds a lot nicer. It's a precise weld, and yeah, we haven't used the spots where BMW were designed these plates to be welded on. So instead of using these two, we have decided to weld it all across, so it's a stronger weld.
Yeah, because I guess generally BMW would just use those two spots, and then just
hold a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
No, well, I want to thank you for your work. It's really nice. Yeah. And now I'll get a couple shots of it because no one's ever going to see it again.
That's good.
Cover it up with etch primer, seam sealer, and then Raptor, and then hopefully I'll have no problems. So it's now a new day. After Gabe left, I set about kind of cleaning up the bodywork underside after all the welding had been done, ready to get it into etch primer and then seam seal. And then finally I was going to put Raptor on, Raptor bed liner. A couple guys I know, kind of restoration people, that's what they use underside of their cars now. So that's kind of what I want to go with. I've seen it used before. It comes out really nicely and really strong. But kind of cleaning up, especially those rear trailing arm pockets, I realized there's probably a little bit more surface rust that I was prepared for, which was probably not the smartest planning by me on a car this old. And also I don't really have the tools to deal with it. I don't have enough kind of wire wheels, that kind of stuff. Or a rust treatment kind of converter, something to it, make it inert, I think is the word. So now I think where I'm just going to put the standard non-M3 subframe back up. This isn't the last time any of this is going to come off. So I think rather than going all out and putting the Raptor on, which is kind of probably almost a bit permanent, I'm just going to put some etch primer on just to protect this bare metal. And then I can come back at it a bit more prepared, and that etch primer should be fairly easy just to remove, and then I can go around and treat all these kind of like rusty bits and get it all nice and finished up. So that's my plan now, is just to get that quickly done. It's the middle of summer now, it's already 26 degrees in the workshop, so, and this plastic sheeting isn't helping under here, so I don't want to waste too much time. So probably going to stick a GoPro on my head and just try and get this sealed up so that we can get it back outside. Okay, so last night, as I was saying, I mainly concentrated on trying to clean out this inside pocket and just going over the edges of where the undersill got burnt during the welding process and cleaning it back to a good point and kind of using a knife to cut that sharp so it's not lifting. But yeah, as I said, kind of realised I don't really have the right tools to get up in there and clean it out. So let's get some, firstly gonna get some masking tape and then just mask over some bits I don't want paint on. And then just get all this protected with etch primer, really. And then I can come back at a later date and properly treat all this, although I don't know if I'm gonna leave this to the body shop because that's accessible, but. And yeah, part of the reason I stopped is because I kind of realised all this stuff's been happening over, what, 23 years, I think. So leaving it another month or so, don't really know how long, isn't going to make much difference, if anything, to what I'm going to actually do, which is grind it back and treat it. So again, like the rest of the project, there's no rush. So let's just get it protected so that the fresh metal doesn't rust too quickly at least. So I don't think the etch primer is the perfect thing for the job. That's another reason why I'm stopping, because I had ordered epoxy primer, but it didn't come in time. Well, the company managed to send just wrapped the liner twice, which was frustrating. Okay, that masking is not going to win me any awards, but it's just kind of to stop overspray on things like wires and pipes and stuff that just always think looks a bit amateurish when you see it on. A little clean up before we start. It's probably going to make all the tape fall off. Because whilst I do only intend this to be a temporary coating, I don't want it to just fall off and not do its job. Okay, let's give this a go. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Oh well. Okay, let that dry off, just check it over, but I think that's going to be okay. Just fill up these holes where Gabe was explaining that that's how they just MIG them on, and where he's tigged and gone around the outside, they're not needed. So I'm fairly sure I probably will end up pulling most of this off, especially where I didn't clean this one. But I'd just rather spend a little time pulling off seam sealer I put on than letting rust form under these plates. Okay, I think let that dry. I think that should be okay. Well, I'm much happier than I was leaving it exposed anyway. Like I said, even if I end up just grinding all that way back when I come to do the final coating, I'm much happier knowing that that is more airtight sealed, I think. Anyway. Okay, so that is the subframe reinforcements all done on the body and now all sealed up. I probably have bottled it a little bit because I did plan to get this all fully sealed up in Raptor, but this now gives me time to go away, think about what I'm doing a bit more, get advice from some experts, because I'm just a little bit worried. I don't want to put Raptor on and think it's a bit too permanent and leave something that maybe should have been treated underneath. And there's no rush on the project, that's been the whole theme, so I don't want to rush ahead for no real reason and make mistakes. So it is actually a weekday now, so this is overdue on the lift. Aston is currently staring at me. So let's get this off and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to join the conversation, please drop a comment below and we'll try our best to respond to you. If you want to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you want to watch what YouTube thinks you might like from our other content, you can do so over here.